What's good with the YouTube family? This is AD, aka AD Beats LV, AD's reaction. We're gonna get right into this video. If you press like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, would be cool. Appreciate it. Just trying to grow my channel. Just give you some reactions to different things that pops up in my timeline. So I'll be watching these kind of videos. This one is a intoxicated state trooper causes a fatal collision, and we're gonna see how this plays out or whatever. So, you know, leave your comments and, you know, whatever, what you think about the video. We're going to get right into it. And hopefully everybody's been safe and blessed and everything, and had a good day today. But we're going to get right into it and see what's popping. Let's go.
2025, the Richland Police Department received a call from a woman who had just crashed her vehicle into a motorbike at the intersection of Village Parkway and SR 240 in Richland, Washington. During the first few moments, dispatch asks the caller to check if any parties are injured, so she goes to check to see if everyone is okay, but they aren't. The biker is dead. The caller tells dispatch she's a first responder. In response, they tell her to start conducting CPR in an attempt to save the biker's life.
911, your emergency. Hello, ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Are you at Village Parkway and SR 240?
Yes.
Are you injured at all?
No.
Okay. And it said you were in a Kia, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you hit a motorcycle?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Do you see if the person's injured or breathing?
I think everybody's okay. Let me get on and check. No, there's definitely somebody injured. Possibly fatality. I'm gonna go check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if they're breathing.
Yeah, we have no pulse on I believe a pedestrian. I can. Yes, I'm a first responder.
You are a first responder?
She sounds
Yes,
tipsy.
ma'am.
If you want to start CPR, we can definitely get that
Okay.
going.
Okay, I'm gonna start CPR.
Okay. Okay, we do have officers and medics already dispatched out there, okay? CPR is being started.
The caller is 14-year Washington State Trooper veteran, 35-year-old Sarah Lee Klassen. She was off duty on the evening in question and had been heading home after picking up Domino's Pizza. As you'll see momentarily, she tells first responders that she believed she had enough time to complete the turn from the State Route 240 into Village Parkway, but ultimately hit the biker, 20-year-old Jose Sanchez. But if you hadn't guessed it by now, first responders believed that Sarah was driving under the influence.
Everything out as it is to confirm everything. So, I'm just getting here, so I know you already answered some questions from the other guys, but generally what happened and
So I went and picked up a Domino's Pizza.
Okay.
I was turning left in here. I live right over there on Wild Canyon Way.
Okay.
I saw what I thought was a car with one headlight out.
Okay.
Right just past where the reflective sign is, that white one.
Okay, sure.
And so I was already slowing in the turn lane and saw him there, and I was like, I got enough time.
Okay.
I turned, and as soon as I turned, just felt the boom.
Okay. Okay. So as you're turning, you thought he was further away.
No,
Is
he
that
was
right?
definitely past that reflective sign
Okay.
when I saw him.
Okay.
And then I think I just, like I say, I thought it was a car with a headlight out. Didn't
Okay.
realize it was a motorcycle. I didn't realize the rate of speed
Okay.
they were going at.
So did you think he was going pretty quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Because from that reflective sign, it's kind of, I live
Yeah,
here.
of course she's gonna you know, spin the narrative in her favor or whatever, obviously. Let's go. Go figure, right? Let's
So
go.
Sure.
that's always my, like, general rule. If they're past that sign, then You got plenty of time if you're already slowing to turn in.
Gotcha.
And
so you know, based on making this turn and numerous times, that you know how to judge that distance.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, good to go. Okay. All right.
That's
so you're probably aware we're just gonna run this like normal. So I'm just gonna run you through some voluntary field sobriety tests if you're willing to. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do any.
Okay. All right. What about the PVT? You willing to do voluntary PVT?
I don't want to do any tests based on the
Okay. Understood. What about? Obviously, you just gave me a verbal statement. Are you willing to write down a statement on paper?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me go grab a statement form. And I'll let you fill.
You know what the the interesting part about this is, she's like literally showing no emotion. She just killed somebody, and she is literally showing not 1 ounce piece of emotion at all. This guy was 20 years old. He wasn't even a legal adult yet. Dude, can you imagine that being your family member and you just get a call in the middle of the night? I can't remember what time. What time does it say? 21:18. So it's like what? Early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Let's go. But she's showing no emotion at all.
Fill that out, and then I know you want to get out of here, so we'll do that. That way we just kind of lock everything in for today. So
sounds good.
All right, just give me a few minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep.
Wow.
When Sarah's asked to assist with the investigation to rule out a DUI in the form of sobriety tests and blood alcohol content chemical tests, she refuses on the grounds of the circumstances of what just occurred. Very strange indeed, especially for a law enforcement officer. This response and the fact that Officer Steve Hyde could smell a small amount of alcohol in her presence raised suspicion, and so he believed that she was hiding something due to her uncooperative. In order to get some evidence to back this claim, he managed to get Sarah to write a statement about what occurred. But what she doesn't realize is that she played into his hand. If she's drunk, like he suspects, then her handwriting won't be clear.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your...
Here is the statement forms. Once I got here, you're probably gonna need like a clipboard or something, aren't you?
Yeah,
no, you're good.
I'll just write on the hood if that's okay.
I'll have you stay away from the vehicle just to keep that. But let me grab you a clipboard. That's my bad.
And then to refuse any sobriety test or anything like that, that just you're guilty. You know, you're already exuding that you're already saying you're guilty because you don't even want to take the test, right? Let's go.
All right, here you go. You're welcome to sit down right here.
Exuding, is that appropriate? She's exuding that she's drunk or a little tipsy or eluding. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions for me at this point?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'll just be over here, so just flag me down once you're done with that.
Sounds good.
Or suspicious. She's acting suspicious.
All right. Thank you for completing that for me. I'll just read through it real quick. So before I read it, I don't know that this was ever clarified. You're in the turn lane. You're turning. Was there any other traffic coming?
So there was a car behind him. I thought it was a car with the headlight out. It was coming this way. Like you say, it was right at that white sign. So it's kind of my gauge on when I turn. But I was slowing, and then saw there was a car there, turned, and then just literally out of nowhere just ran inside of me.
Okay, so there was a car in front?
No, behind him.
Behind him.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Do you know how far?
It was kind of hard to... I would probably say maybe 50 feet behind him, because I could see two headlights on that one on this one. They were at the white light, or the white sign, sorry. And then when I saw that, I was like, there's a row of cars coming. One's got a headlight out, so they probably can't see well, so maybe they're driving slow or whatever. But yeah, once I saw they were only at the white sign, I was like, I got time to turn.
Okay.
And as soon as I turned, it was
Okay.
boom right in the.
Okay. Okay.
Just as I almost completed my turn.
Okay. Okay. So you're almost finished with your turn.
Yeah. I was. Well, you kind of see where the point of impact was.
Sure.
But she's showing no emotion.
Okay.
Bro. That's crazy.
Definitely. And normally, like, I guess in the daylight it's easier to see if they're going faster, but I looked and saw like one light and I was like, we're past the white sign. I'm good to turn. But yeah, I don't know.
You know, she's not saying like, man, I feel bad for him, you know. I wish he wouldn't have, you know. She's not like, wow, man, you just killed somebody. You know? Wow, I'm just baffled behind that. Like, she just didn't even, she is not even saying nothing about the motorcycle, the motorcyclist or nothing, man. Like, yo.
Yeah, I don't know how fast they were going or what, but it definitely wasn't like it wasn't like I was trying to squeak in at all. Like, there was plenty of room.
You thought you had plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
You had to gun it or anything.
No, not at all. I was slowing here and then maybe like 20 miles an hour when I made the turn.
Okay, so you slowed down to 20 and then...
Oh, yeah, because I go left here, so it's
20 miles an hour.
Lights over. I won't stop, but at least rolling slow down when you're not going to make like hard turn.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, it definitely. They were past the white sign when I initiated my turn.
Okay.
And she's kind of wobbly too. If you watch her closely, she's trying hard. She's trying hard to stay up stable and not be rocking, but you can still see, you know, when the person is pretty, you know, sauced up, you know, you can see them. They can barely stand up. And you can see her body just rocking slightly. She is like trying so hard not to look drunk.
You mean on that side of it or on this side of it?
At least at it. So yeah, I always use it as my like kind of turning point.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be honest with you. I would love to rule out impairment, but without the fields, it is hard to rule that out. Obviously, it's voluntary. I won't ask you again, but there may always be that question.
Yeah.
Down the road.
I just rather not.
Okay.
Yeah. I understand, but I know how it goes too. So.
Yeah. What do you mean? You know how it goes?
Even if there's like a little, if I had a glass one earlier or something like that, I just don't want.
She just told on herself.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I definitely don't.
She said, if I had something, or no, you had something earlier. Matter of fact, you probably just had something maybe like an hour or two ago. Let's go.
Feel impaired. I don't feel like there was impairment as an issue.
Did you have a glass of wine earlier?
Not gonna answer it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course she did.
Okay. You just mentioned like if. So
if I would have, or had, but
you exposed yourself.
Just don't answer.
Okay. All right. You have to deal with this. I mean, obviously, you have to deal with it at work and stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have to give a guy CPR on the roadside is. So his bike kind of got pushed in front of your car, but was he still in the roadway? Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, so he was right about where almost where the car was standing there. He was maybe just a little bit to the north of him.
Okay. To the north of him.
Just like literally like a body size. There's probably blood there.
Okay.
Like, what's that bulge in her? What does she have on under her jacket? She got her piece on her?
Yeah, no, I got out immediately, and there was a few people that stopped. I think the car that was behind him had stopped, and I started CPR, and everybody was standing around asking if I needed gloves or something. I was like, it's not really necessary right now. I'm just trying to...
Okay, and and obviously you were the only one in the car.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have people at home, or you just?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
My husband's at home.
Okay.
I just went to go get the pizza.
Okay.
You can see her rocking. She's trying to stand up straight.
I'm just gonna basically, we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now, so I'll talk to my partners over there, and we'll kind of figure out how we're gonna, what's next.
No, she's supposed to go to jail because she refused a sobriety test. She's getting you supposed to.
Just give me a couple minutes.
And you see how, versus if it was me or you, a civilian, who did something like that, it would be automatic, right?
Another time. We don't even need to do it tomorrow. And we'll get the run up. Fly it. Do you want to grab the furrow?
No. I think she has something on board.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Is there?
we have to.
Is there going to be enough to get a search warrant?
So yeah, I'll write it.
Which
I mean, unless you want.
what changed?
So I was just studying her. She got a couple misspelled words on here.
Okay.
She wrote sigh, and she said 100 feet. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. She estimated the distance between the guy on the motorcycle and her to be 100 feet, which that's way more than 100. That's 500 feet. She said she was almost through her turn when clearly she was at the very beginning of her turn. Her eyes are a little bit glassy, a little bit.
With those light speed?
But could be, but we got to err on the side of caution.
Okay.
I do not have a great sense of smell, but I think I smelled a little bit of odor of alcohol, enough for me to say. And then I told her, I'm like, hey, we just want to rule out impairment. And by you not doing it, I'm like, I'm not going to ask you again, but I'm like, we can't rule it out. And she's like, yeah, well, if I would have had a glass of wine earlier, I know how this goes. And I said, did you have a glass of wine earlier? And she said, I'm not going to answer that. So
Okay.
I think with everything,
Back and let them know what you need.
we have to. I mean,
Okay.
I will write the search warrant.
Well.
But yeah, I'm still
can wait
recording.
so much, yeah.
I'm still recording. I would have loved to have ruled it out. All right. So, like I said, we were really trying to rule alcohol out. I'm not convinced that alcohol wasn't a factor. So right now you are under arrest. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and put your hand behind your back.
That's how it's supposed to go, though.
So we will be doing a search warrant for blood. Okay. That way there will be no questions.
Yeah, just think though, if it wasn't for the body cams and all that stuff nowadays, there's a possibility that she could have been going home tonight, But just because there's so much technology, you cops are you ones that are doing what some of us do as civilians, y'all starting to get busted. Let's go. I don't even drink that much, so I don't be drinking and driving at all. So I used to when I was young, but
over here.
not no more, folks.
1144 dispatch one in custody.
But I'm just tripping off the fact that she shows no emotion, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you just literally, you killed somebody. Like, man, I would be shaken up.
Search you real quick here. I have a bag in the back. I can grab it if it's right.
Sarah was ultimately arrested, was taken into custody, and had her bloods taken. But believe it or not, she hasn't been charged as of yet, and was released on her own recognizance after an initial court hearing. That meant then she didn't have any bail conditions. But if charges do go forward, she's to face vehicular homicide, which carries a 6.5 to 8.5 year sentence in Washington. If she does end up being charged and eventually convicted for this crime, then what you're about to see next makes this whole situation that much crazier.
Yo, you only get 6 to 8 years for vehicular. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. and then you're drinking too, and that's all you get? What? That's crazy
took
work.
place just over a year before the crash.
Washington's Department of Transportation and State Patrol are
Yeah, let's run it back because I was
Actually
talking.
convicted for which carries a 6.5 to 8.5 year sentence in Washington. If she does end up being charged and eventually convicted for this crime, then what you're about to see next makes this whole situation that much crazier. This took place just over a year before the crash.
Washington's Department of Transportation and State Patrol are teaming up for a campaign to make roadways safer statewide. Dan Hansen speaks with WashDOT and a trooper about why this is needed.
Can you please just
Oh
hear
my
me out?
goodness.
No, all work management
I'm gonna get
platforms are the
Prime
same.
soon.
They take forever to learn,
Not
and in the
Prime,
end,
but Premium.
This statewide campaign is called Target Zero. The goal is to help save more lives on state roadways by the year 2030. Driving-related deaths rose from 674 to 740 people across the state from 2021 to 2022, according to the Washington State Traffic Safety Commission. Overall, State Patrol is seeing an alarming amount of crashes.
In the last year, in what we call District 3, which is Yakima,
Look what we have
Tri-Cities,
here.
Walla Walla.
This was a year before she just killed this dude. They're actually interviewing her on those intersections. Let's go. Is that crazy? Let's go.
4,634 collisions in 2023. Some of our major factors are going to be speed, following too closely, distracted driving, and of course, being impaired.
Trooper Sarah Clayson tells me crash numbers have been climbing every year since 2016. To get a better understanding about what the more problematic areas are here locally, WSP has monitored certain areas closely.
Areas like the bridge. So definitely when the roads are slick, focus on on-ramps, off-ramps. We take our data, we share it with, like I say, the Traffic Highway Safety Commission, DOT.
Trooper Clayson tells me the bottom line for drivers on the road is to just pay attention, no matter where you are going.
I know it's easy to get distracted by cell phones or radios or occupants in your vehicle, but I think just being able to be alert and have that be what's the most important thing that you're doing is driving and keeping you and the people around you safe.
Yep, that's her. Sarah's
Wow.
defense attorney, Scott Johnson, argued that there wasn't enough proof to move forward with the case. Court documents don't say what experience Officer Hyde has for investigating crash scenes. Hyde is a member of Richland's traffic unit, but that wasn't mentioned in his affidavit of probable cause. Johnson also alleged that the motorcyclist's speed contributed to the crash, and the driver had a history of driving too fast.
Oh
This
my
is an
goodness.
intersection that Mrs. Klassen is very familiar with, and she knew to look to the side to gauge to make the turn. And had that motorcycle not been speeding, that turn could have been and would have been successfully executed. The lead investigator in the case, however, refutes the defense's arguments, saying that they don't believe he was speeding, and confirmed that the damage done to Sarah's vehicle was on the corner of her front bumper, not to the side, meaning then that she pulled out on him. The detective states an attentive driver would have been able to see the motorcyclist prior to the collision. So where does that leave us today then? Well, again, as it stands right now, no charges have been brought forward, and I think realistically, this is all going to boil down to those blood test results. According to the lead investigator, it could take months for them to come back. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. But I do firmly believe it does come down to that. If there was alcohol in her system, she'll be charged. If there wasn't, I don't think she will. But to be slurring words and refusing to cooperate does arouse some sort of suspicion. So I'll leave this one to you guys. I want to know what your thoughts are on this case. And I'll be replying to some of you in the comments. Do you think she'll be charged? Do you think she had alcohol in her system? Or do you think that maybe he was driving too fast and this was a tragic accident?
That's crazy. That right there, and can you imagine with his family, how his family feels? You know, they're probably already feeling like she's gonna get off, you know. And if she does get convicted, 6 to 8 years for killing somebody that when you're intoxicated, I guess it just depends on the state to state. Because I think here you can get like up to life for vehicular homicide or whatever, and especially while you're intoxicated too. That is crazy. So yeah, just leave your comments. You know, let me know what you guys think about this video. I'm gonna leave the description to this channel that I just did this reaction on, and you guys can go and subscribe to them. They have all kinds of, you know, videos like this, you know, of traffic stops, things of that nature. But I felt like this one was gonna be good, and it was. You know, hopefully if her blood alcohol, you know, was over the limit, then yeah, they need to go ahead and give her time, like, you know, they're supposed to, just like they would do to us, you know. So, but we'll see. We know how it goes with the, you know, Blue Shield. They like to protect each other, and they're going to try to probably do the best they can to try to get her off or whatever. So it's unfortunate because they would throw the book at us immediately, you know. There'd be just no question, you know. So, but with that being said, appreciate you guys. Hopefully you're liking some of the content. Like, not staying in one area of things. I'm just going all over, just reacting to different things that's meaningful in life. Some of it's not too meaningful, you know, with the urban news or whatever, but, you know, there's always a moral to it. You know, there's always some substance in it, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So hope everybody is well. I'll catch you on the next one. It's AD, aka AD Beats LV, AD's Reaction, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.